What's up, you guys? It's Layla Lynn, and I'm back with another video. And in this video, I want to talk about the dark psychology of Columbus Short. I want to start a new series on my channel where we talk about dark psychology and social psychology. You guys may have heard, if you keep up with my videos, I'm doing a Patreon with feminine communication workshops, but I also publicly want to talk about dark psychology and the psychology of these celebrities that we talk about here on YouTube. And in this video, we're going to talk about Columbus Short and the hypocrisy of him bashing Black women. In the past, he bashed Black women and painted Black women unworthy of partnership. Unworthy of partnership. And so he married a non-Black woman, and now the non-Black woman is allegedly abusing him. So we're going to get into the psychology of that in this video. But first, if you're not familiar with my channel, again, I'm Layla Lynn. I do celebrity news and nostalgia. And when I say nostalgia, I mean we take it back. We take it way back. We bring up the receipts. We like to talk about old stuff over here. So if you like this type of content, subscribe to my channel, click the thumbs up button, do all the YouTube things to support this channel. All right, you guys. So Columbus Short previously went viral a couple years ago. He went viral again for implying that Black women were unworthy of partnership. He was saying when we argue, there's no respect for the Black man. When we argue, we stop doing our household duties. We won't wash dishes. We won't still do the laundry. We won't do whatever our wifely or household duties are because of our disrespect for the Black man. And so a lot of people find it hypocritical that he married a non-Black woman, and this non-Black woman is allegedly abusing him. Late last week, Columbus Short filed for and was granted a temporary restraining order against his wife, Aida Short, after a DV incident including both him and their 10-week-old puppy. Who harms a puppy? To me, anybody harming a puppy, I feel like it's grounds for divorce, because if you harm a puppy, I feel like you might harm my children. I'm sorry. When it has to do with harming animals is just a precursor to harming humans. So if you're harming animals, you got to get away from me. But in any case, according to court documents obtained by TMZ, Columbus Short alleges that on July 7th, Aida roughed up the pup, kicking and throwing the dog before turning her aggression on him. And when he confronted her, she allegedly, quote, hit him multiple times in the face, leaving him with a busted eye and wounds. Columbus Short told the court that a concerned neighbor heard Aida screaming very loudly as if she was being taken out of this world. And so they called 911. Upon arrival, police officers observed his injuries and arrested Aida on suspicion of DV. In his petition to the court, Columbus paints a portrait of ongoing abuse. This is so unfortunate. He claims Aida has subjected him to daily verbal abuse in full view of their two children. The real victims here, the children and the puppy. And he said that she has used kitchen weapons. I'm trying not to say too many trigger words, but she has used kitchen weapons against him and has bitten him. And beyond the immediate DV, Columbus Short's filings request that the judge order Aida to stay at least 100 yards away from him, their two sons, Denzel, born in 2017, and Liam, born in 2020, and stay at least 100 yards away from their dogs at all times. He also asked the court to remove her from the family home while still requiring her to pay rent if she's not living there. So I guess she's still got her duties to do as well. In any case, as far as their history, he and Aida married in December of 2016, and their relationship has already weathered its share of public legal drama. In February 2022, Columbus Short was arrested on charges of child endangerment and DV after an altercation at their LA home, with both spouses accusing one another of DV. So, in the restraining order declaration, Columbus Short describes Aida as emotionally unstable. Now, she's not Black. He's painted a picture of Black women being emotionally unstable, but she is not Black. And I feel like this is a case of water meets its level, because there are past allegations from his previous marriage of him engaging in DV. So it kind of seems like no matter who he marries, there's going to be some DV, regardless of race. But in any case, he said that Aida is dangerous to the well being of both him and their children. And he remembers bringing the puppy to the home on June 21st, only to watch Aida grow upset when the puppy urinated indoors. And according to Columbus, when he intervened to protect the puppy, she, quote, struck him with a glass trophy, causing significant injury. And I can imagine the truth of that. Hitting somebody with a trophy is going to cause some harm. And he says that these DV episodes are not isolated. In court documents, he alleges that, quote, this pattern of violence has been ongoing for some time and that he lives in fear for his safety when Aida is in close proximity. So TMZ reports that officers responding to the neighbor's call saw bruising on him and arrested Aida, which is rare. In DV situations, it's rare for them to arrest the woman. You guys know that. But they saw bruising on him. So obviously, the bruising came or allegedly came from Aida. Once he was in court, the judge granted the temporary restraining order against Aida. And under California law, this type of order typically will last several weeks until a full hearing can be held, at which point the judge will decide whether to extend the protection for up to 1 year. And if the order does remain in place, Aida will be legally barred from coming within 100 yards of her husband, children, and pets, and any violation could lead to criminal penalties for her. Which is so ironic because he said that it was Black women that were so disrespectful and had all these attitudes against him, but it's a non-Black woman that's allegedly abusing him. So, as far as the public reaction, news of the restraining order has reignited public debate over Columbus's past public statements about Black women. Not too long ago, he sparked controversy on the Unqualified AF podcast by claiming, quote, there is no respect of the man, the Black man, by a Black woman. So you want to talk about disrespect? You want to talk about disrespect by a Black woman, but it's really a non-Black woman that's disrespecting him and abusing him, allegedly. And so this is what I mean when I talk about dark psychology, because I feel like a lot of people go on podcasts and use the media when they have access to the media, whether it's YouTube, social media, or like mass media. They use the media to kind of like train people to act how they want them to act. Like he wants Black women to act in a certain way. So he goes on the media or goes on podcasts and bashes Black women to get a change, to get a response that he wants. Like he wants Black women to be respectful. And he put non-Black women on a pedestal because he said non-Black women, even if they're arguing with you, they'll still do their household duties. Like they'll still wash dishes, they'll still wash their clothes, they'll still do their household or wifely duties. And he was saying non-Black women have been trained to still do their household duties, even if they're in conflict with their man. So that's how he was putting non-Black women on a pedestal. But here you see him getting abused by a non-Black woman. So that says a lot. It says a lot, and it just shows the dark psychology of him, regardless of what's going on in his household. Him coming on podcasts and bashing Black women and putting non-Black women on a pedestal that is not necessarily deserved. It's not deserved. And that's why I say water meets his level. It's not about race. It's about water seeking its level. So as far as his past with DV, his personal and legal history does reveal a recurring pattern of severe domestic conflict. In 2013, he was arrested for an altercation with a bar patron, and he pleaded to assault and he performed community service. Then in 2014, a year later, his then wife, Tanae, obtained a restraining order against him, alleging threats with a kitchen utensil, and Columbus entered a no contest plea to a misdemeanor DV charge, and he received counseling and probation. Then in 2022, with his new wife, both him and his new wife faced DV and child endangerment charges. And now in 2025, Columbus has secured a restraining order against Aida after a DV incident involving him and their puppy. So there is a pattern of DV in his life, regardless of the race of the woman he's married to. So it makes it sound like it's not about race. It's not about Black women. It's not about that, even though he went on podcasts bashing Black women and claiming that Black women have no respect for the Black man. It's not about race at all. So this restraining order, like I said, is going to remain in effect until there's a hearing, which is typically scheduled within 20 to 25 days. And I'll try to follow up with this on my channel. At that point, both parties will present their evidence. And if the restraining order is extended, Aida will face real consequences for violating its terms. But as far as in the media and social media, right now, Columbus Short is getting dragged. Like he's facing the consequences of bashing Black women and saying that Black women have no respect for the Black man, and then turning around and getting ABUSED by his non Black wife. Make that make sense. Make that make sense, you guys, in the comments if you can. Make that make sense. Otherwise, it just looks like he's using media, social media, to try to train Black women to be a certain way when the issue is not Black women. The issue is him, from what it looks like. The issue is him and his choices. He allegedly engages in DV, and he allegedly partners with women, regardless of race. He partners with women who are willing to engage in DV with him. Sounds like a personal problem to me. Y'all leave a comment, leave your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching. What's up, you guys? So I have officially launched my Patreon. It is called the Soft Girl Syndicate. We're talking about femininity, feminine communication skills, and fashion. So if you are a soft girl or you want to be a softer girl as far as your communication and how you react to people, how you relate to people, drop down in my description box and in the comment section and visit the link for my Patreon. We're doing feminine communication workshops and fashion workshops. Y'all have to let me know with the fashion if you want to do the fashion in private or if you want to do the fashion here on YouTube. But the feminine communication workshops will be only on Patreon. They will be in private. And we're going to talk about how to get there, how to get in control of your energy and get into your feminine energy if you feel like you've been taken out of it. Now, if you made it this far to the end of the video, then I think you like my content. So make sure you subscribe and check out my channel. I have over 1,000 videos on my channel. Check out my playlists and my podcasts, and I assure you, you will like more of my content.